Chase, standing like a wildebeest with long hoarse breaths and bronchitis-like coughs, lands his feet on an algae-covered rock. He proceeds up the rock stairwell to the edge of the land, splashing water with each step. He pauses at the top of the rock. Potential energy turns into kinetic. He flashes reflections off his wet body in the bright sun, glistening with each rotation. He is a ballerina. His shoulders are his compass, navigating him through each spin. Pointed feet break surface tension, marking the end of the mid-air showing. A quick spray of a broken fire hydrant on a hot summer day follows as Chase's body plummets into the water. Moments later, I was a torpedo, soaring through the air. I took off right as Chase brought his head up to the surface, enjoying the high-speed freefall while preparing for my ascent into a new world. Blasting through cohesive forces with my two hands, I plunge into the hydrosphere. My body slows. I let the bubbles tickle my body as I seek the surface. This is a new world. A world of silence. A world of purity and of honesty. This world is filled with oxygen, but you cannot breathe. A sort of natural barrier for extended exploration and pleasure. I enjoy my time in this world, not rushing my exit, letting the natural buoyancy drag me to the surface. My head finally pops out of the water, following a swing of my arms to my side. I take my hand and wipe the extra water from my face before opening my eyes. Chase is swimming like a bear, making abrupt movements that cause water to splash great distances. The wind making tiny waves across the surface of the water are reflecting the bright light in the sky. The smell of cherry tree blossoms glides slowly across the surface of the water. Slightly earthy tasting mineral-dense water drips from my nose, adhering to my lips and seeping into my mouth. Wind casting itself across the surface blows drips of water off my wet head. Sounds serene. My body is in two worlds. I am at peace in the atmosphere, but my body is working hard in the hydrosphere. Swinging my legs side to side and arms up and down, I am able to keep my head above the surface. I dip my head underneath to quickly get a fix of supreme tranquility. Earlier in the day, we swam a great distance.
Dude, I was there and you didn't even mention any of this.
I know.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, I had all you in there, but then I had to describe like all the events.
So done.
Dude, it was a lot of work, bro.
Keep going. Jesus.
Alright, do you want me to keep going or are you too upset?
Yeah.
Earlier in the day, we swam a great distance. It was only me and Chase because I'm getting it. Earlier in the day, we swam a great distance. The water felt like heaven on our skin, so we could not help to stay in it as long as possible. We started swimming out and away from the forest in which we walked through to get here. We looked at the big granite protrusion from the forest that we had used to enter the water as it started to shrink. This was our home. It was our own spot, not shared by anyone outside of our friend group. We found the spot while scouring the coast using topographic maps to our advantage. We knew we would be able to find a place to jump eventually. Then it was spotted, with a divine topography and perfect features. We planted our feet on Plymouth Rock and expanded from there, cutting down branches that were in our way of the cliff, building a fire pit, and even clearing a half-mile-long trail to the nearest road. While swimming away from the forest, we talked about how surprisingly warm the water was for a mid-spring day. The air was only about 75 degrees, but coming out of a harsh winter, it felt like the tropics. As time passed, we found ourselves well out from where we had started. We decided that we would swim to a floating white buoy in the middle of the reservoir. Stroke after stroke, we got closer and closer.
Oh, that's why he said it was you too.
I would change between strokes and occasionally let go of everything and feel my body sink beneath the surface and get completely engulfed by calm, tranquil sensations. The underwater world was a place that I could resort to after being tired, exhausted, tense, or stressed. I rose to the surface and flipped my body over in the water so my chest was facing up. I looked at the sky and watched the clouds. a nice relaxer to counter the physical stress my body was going through in the water. I laid with the air in my lungs holding me afloat, like a sea otter on its back. My body was erect, yet fluid. My arms moved like the body of a jellyfish as I pushed them through the water's resistance so they're perpendicular with my body, floating on the surface and pushing the water away as I propel myself. Each stroke my hands ended up back at my side. Chase was a whale, making strong strokes through the water and coasting at a pace faster than anyone would expect from someone as big as him. He kept up for the most part, but I occasionally had to stop and wait for him. Dude, Chase, I compared you in the beginning. I said you were a wildebeest.